Good evening and welcome to the NewsHour Agenda. Now, ladies and gentlemen, 13 years ago, a simple professor from the state of Kerala, T.J. Joseph, was ambushed by radical elements armed with swords and knives. The scene was just like what we witness often on 70mm screens. T.J. Joseph was waylaid near his home when he was going to church with his family. The radicals pulled the professor out of his vehicle and chopped off his right hand. All this was done over an alleged question on Islam in an exam paper. Today, a special NI court convicted 6 members of the now banned Popular Front of India for the brutal attack. This case was one of the main points listed by the centre when it decided to dismantle the radical group. The centre, in its 2022 notification, provided elaborate reasons for banning the hate group, but the main message was that PFI engages in violent acts to create a reign of terror in the public mind. The BJP says that there's no place for radical extremists in a civilized society. Listen in.
No, I think the entire Kerala and India and of course the world at large would be pretty happy about justice being meted out to people. Such incidents shouldn't happen in a civilized country at all. I mean, that's it, full stop.
I believe that, the government should come out with some mechanism to take care of him or to accommodate him or to, accommodate him appropriately in such a way that the rest of his life will be little more comfortable. The point is this judgment of, punishing a few victims, is it enough to solve the problem?
And in fact, ladies and gentlemen, both the Congress and left governments have dithered in the past to ban this hate group. Instead, they have taken tacit support from the alleged offshoot of PFI for political gains, thus emboldening their bigotry. The Congress that allowed PFI's unity march in Rajasthan in 2022 today says that the mindset behind the brutal attack should be eliminated. Listen in.
I'm welcoming that verdict. That type of attack should be finished.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, the very same T.J. Joseph in 2021 gave an exclusive conversation to Times Now and exposed the hypocrisy of both the Congress and left. He squarely blamed both the parties for nurturing terror outfits. He maintained that both parties dumped ideologies to appease extremist groups. Let's now go across to, in fact, Professor Joseph, who spoke to us a short while earlier. In fact, Professor Joseph, let me begin by asking you, why do you think that since your attack, PFI was allowed to flourish all these years? What's the role that political parties, particularly in your home state of Kerala, have played?
അതായത് പി എഫ് ഐ തന്നെ ഈ പറയുന്ന അവരുടെ അനുയായികളെയൊക്കെ ഇതുപോലെയുള്ള മതാന്ധതയിലൊക്കെ ചേർത്ത് നിർത്തുന്നത് അവർക്ക് രാഷ്ട്രീയമായിട്ടുള്ള അധികാരം ലാക്കാക്കി തന്നെയാണ്. അതിനു വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ് അവരത് ശ്രമിക്കുന്നത്, അതിനു വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് പണിയെടുക്കുന്നത്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ അവരെ ചേർത്ത് പിടിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് നിലവിലുള്ള സംവിധാനക്രമങ്ങളൊക്കെ അവരുടെ വോട്ട് കൊണ്ട് ഭരണത്തിലേറാമെന്നുള്ളത് കൊണ്ടും അവരും ഈ പറയുന്ന തീവ്രവാദത്തെയും ഭീകരവാദത്തെയും പലപ്പോഴും കണ്ടില്ല എന്ന് നടിക്കുകയും വേണ്ട ആനുകൂല്യങ്ങൾ അവർക്ക് ചെയ്തു കൊടുക്കുകയും ചെയ്യുന്നു എന്നൊക്കെ എനിക്കും സാമാന്യ ബുദ്ധി മനസ്സിലായിട്ടുള്ളതാണ്.
One of the prime accused in your case, Ashamanur Sawad, is still missing after all these years. What would you say is the reason?
അതായത് എൻ്റെ ഒരു തോന്നലനുസരിച്ച് ഈ കേസിന്റെ ആദ്യഘട്ടത്തില് കേരള പോലീസൊക്കെ അല്പം ഊർജിതമായിട്ട് അന്വേഷിക്കുകയും കുറെ പ്രതികളെയൊക്കെ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുകയും ചെയ്തു, അറസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്ത് കസ്റ്റഡിയിലെടുത്തു. പക്ഷേ പിന്നീട് വന്നപ്പോൾ അന്വേഷണം കുറച്ച് അങ്ങനെ പുരോഗമിച്ചു വന്നപ്പോൾ ബാഹ്യമായിട്ടുള്ള ഇടപെടലുകൾ ധാരാളമായിട്ട് ഉണ്ടാവുകയും അന്വേഷണത്തെ വഴിമുടക്കുകയും ചെയ്തു എന്നാണ് അന്വേഷണ ഉദ്യോഗസ്ഥന്മാർ തന്നെ അറിഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ളത്. മതപരമായിട്ടുള്ളതും രാഷ്ട്രീയമായിട്ടുള്ള സമ്മർദ്ദങ്ങൾക്ക് അടിപ്പെട്ട് അന്വേഷണം അവർക്ക് പലപ്പോഴും പൂർത്തീകരിക്കാൻ സാധിച്ചില്ല. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് അന്വേഷണം മുകളിലേക്കൊന്നും എത്താത്തത്. ഈ പറയുന്ന ഒരു പ്രാദേശിക നേതാവിൽ, ഒരു ജില്ലാ നേതാവിൽ വരെയും ഒതുങ്ങി നിന്നു അന്വേഷണം. അപ്പോൾ അവര് പിന്നീട് ഈ അന്വേഷണം മന്ദഗതിയിലായി. അതുകൊണ്ട് പല പ്രതികളും രക്ഷപ്പെട്ടു പോയി. അവരെ കണ്ടെത്താൻ പോലീസ് അത്ര ഉത്സാഹം കാണിച്ചില്ല.
And sir, lastly, do you also think this is a ray of hope for victims and their kin in other cases of violence by the Popular Front of India? particularly given that now we are in a situation where there is a ban on this organization?
ജസ്റ്റിസ് പിന്നെ ഈ ഇരകളായിട്ടുള്ളവർക്ക് എന്നെ പോലെ ഇരകളായിട്ടുള്ളവർക്ക് PFIയെ പിന്നെ ശിക്ഷക്കാരെ ജയിലിലടച്ചുകൊണ്ടോ അവരെ ശിക്ഷിച്ചതുകൊണ്ടോ അതിനൊന്നും നമുക്കൊരു ജസ്റ്റിസ് നമുക്കല്ല കിട്ടേണ്ടത്. രാജ്യത്തിന്റെ ഒരു നിയമം ജസ്റ്റിസ് പിന്നെ പ്രാവർത്തികമാകുന്നു എന്നേ ഉള്ളൂ. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ രാഷ്ട്രം അങ്ങനത്തെ നിലപാടെടുക്കുമ്പോൾ തീവ്രവാദം നടത്തുന്നവരെ, അതിന്റെ പേരിൽ ആക്രമണം അഴിച്ചുവിടുന്നവരെയൊക്കെ പിന്നെ ഒതുക്കുക എന്നുള്ളതും സാധാരണ പൗരന്മാർക്ക് സംരക്ഷണം കൊടുക്കുക എന്നുള്ളതും പിന്നെ രാഷ്ട്രത്തിന് ധർമ്മമാണ്.
All right. That is, in fact, Mr. TJ Joseph, thank you so much for speaking to us, sir. We can understand it is a big day for you. Of course, tomorrow is an even bigger day as the quantum of sentence to all these perpetrators is going to be announced by the court. But thank you so much for taking the time out and speaking to us here at Times Now.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Let's go across to our guest joining us for more on this. We have with us Tom Vadakkan, national spokesperson of the BJP. Mithun V Kumar is a political analyst joining us. Sebastian Paul is an ex-MP and spokesperson of the CPIM. With us also is Kevin Mathews, political analyst. Professor Atiq Ur Rehman is a political analyst joining us. Sebastian Paul, let me go first and foremost to what the victim here has said. You just heard TJ Joseph. And he is accusing both the mainstream political parties of Kerala that have dominated Kerala politics for the past 7.5 decades, the CPM and the Congress, for going soft on PFI. Had the CPM or even the Congress acted firmly against the PFI, perhaps a message would have gone out that, they cannot get away with violent acts of murder and, the different kind of attacks such as they have done, chopping off the hand of Professor Joseph. That is his considered view. How do you respond to this, Sebastian Paul?
No, what we heard just now is the concern of a person who is an aggrieved person who suffered a lot. He lost his wife, he lost his job, everything is there because it is a very dastardly attack committed on an innocent professor. He is legitimately right in accusing both the political parties in Kerala and the authorities in Kerala in not containing such dangerous elements. But though into installments, a number of accused in the case have been convicted, and the latest case, the sentence will be known tomorrow. As Professor said, only the hands are being tied now, but the brain is still at large. The Progressive Front of India is a very dangerous element. They are acting and perpetrating the hatred of violence and the philosophy of hatred on the basis of religion. That is the extremist case. Now, happily, the PFI is banned in the state. The case was investigated by the National Investigation.
But Mr. Sebastian Paul, Mr. Paul, let me just come in here because, I am just going to read out the statement on Wednesday, the 28th of September 2022, when last year the PFI was banned. Now, you did say, and the CPM statement did mention that they are an extremist organization, but they also oppose this ban. While you are welcoming today, let me just read out 2 sentences. However, the notification of the PFI as an unlawful association under UAPA is not the way to tackle this problem. Past experience has shown that bans on organizations like RSS and Maoists were not effective. There has to be firm administrative action under existing laws against the PFI whenever it indulges in illegal or violent activities. Its sectarian divisive ideology must be exposed and fought politically. The question is, while today you are supporting the ban, officially the CPM has opposed the ban. They are saying this is not the way. So this is exactly the problem, that even when it comes to taking decisive action, the CPM has officially opposed the central government.
When coming to the question of banning an organization, there are several points of view. History shows that the ban will only enable them to thrive further. On that basis, last year we made certain remarks or comments that ban is not the solution. You have to find out other solutions also. But anyway, nobody in Kerala will criticize the order of ban on this organization because it is a very dangerous outfit. The CPM and the other parties, ruling parties in Kerala, none have any sympathy towards this organization that known as Popular Front of India.
Okay.
And
Yeah, is that borne out by facts? Tom Vadakkan, CPM and nobody in Kerala has sympathy for PFI, says Sebastian Paul. But what have we seen in the past? Because, you know, we have seen PFI take out all sorts of protest marches where they have ridiculed, lampooned those who they oppose, you know, politically. And many would say some of those protests were even extremely provocative in nature with the kind of imagery that the PFI was trying to project.
Madhav, the ground reality is different. The CPM, the CPI, the Congress Party have always had sympathies for the PFI. And that is not a sympathy of ideology. That is a sympathy which comes for appeasement. And when appeasement is in question, they will go to any length. Professor Joseph has categorically said today that yes, these were tools who really were instrumental in what they did. The real puppeteers, the real people behind it are still at large. Now that is a state of affairs that is present in our country.
Right.
And let me tell you, it took the NIA to investigate the matter because police officers of Kerala police have confessed that yes, there's a huge pressure on them. And this pressure has come from a variety of political parties. Today, Congress shows sympathy for the professor. Today, the CPI speaks, well, you know, well, we did not mean banning was not a good idea. But what else do you do? These are questions in public mind.
Absolutely.
Justice has been done. Justice is also to be followed up by finding out the real culprits behind the whole exercise. And that is what Professor has said. And he's ready. He's ready to even forgive these people.
Absolutely. I think that's a very important question. You know, Kevin Mathews, even as Tom Vadakkan points out that, you know, Professor Joseph feels betrayed. He feels betrayed by not just the political class, but also senior officers who were supposed to protect him. They betrayed him. They were to be his saviors, but that did not happen. At the same time, in fact, let me also point out that there are political leaders. Just in the Karnataka Assembly election earlier this year, you saw, you know, the former KPCC chief, Mr. G. Parmeshwara, openly say that they want support of the SDPI, which is the political wing of the PFI. You know, and there are court judgments which very clearly point out that SDPI is an extremist organization. Despite that, you see political parties trying to curry favor with the PFI and its associates.
So, Madhav, to answer your questions, I'll start with the first part. See, there is no point in picking on the two statements by the CPM during the ban on PFI. See, the CPM said ban is not the right position.
Why not, sir?
We have our own experience, we have our own history to look back. We banned, let me explain. See, we banned SIMI, it came in as a new organization. So, banning you know what, an entity that has just an existence doesn't solve the problem at its root level. So that was a statement because it was a Kerala government. Both the Congress and the left governments has pressed for decisive actions against such outfits that you know perpetrates acts of terror.
No, so what are you saying? In a democratic system today where terrorism has reared its ugly head globally, you are saying a ban is wrong? What is the nation state supposed to do? Come and bear attack after attack on its citizens?
Sir, I'm saying,
without taking decisive action?
The ban is wrong. I am saying the ban is only a gimmick. Sir, I am saying is that the ban is only a gimmick. It doesn't solve the problem. It doesn't solve the root cause of the problem. It just it is just brushing the problem.
So you're still opposing the ban. You're still opposing the ban. Sebastian Paul at least supported the ban when he started and he tried to justify it. Sir, you're saying the ban outright is wrong.
Madhav,
I mean, this is bizarre,
Madhav,
sir.
At least listen to me.
There are dozens of murders that have been committed.
Madhav, at least listen to me. Listen to me before you answer. Madhav, listen to me before you answer, please.
What is your justification? I'm not able to understand it today.
I'm not saying that I'm not opposing the ban. Sir, so you listen to understand, Madhav. I am not opposing the ban. What I am saying is that the CPM statement was that ban is not the right solution. Ban doesn't solve the problem at its root cause.
Let me
You
get
need
a
much
response.
more decisive action.
Let me get a response. Tom Vadakkan's hand is going up. Mithun V Kumar also wants to come in on this. Yes, Tom, quick response to Kevin Mathews over here. Ban is not a solution according to him.
Well, the definition of ban may be different for CPM. But let me tell you, it's very strange that they get the support of the PFI and its TPI at every electoral corner, wherever they fight. And this is part of their appeasement. Naturally, for them, ban is very uncomfortable because that puts a major community out of reach.
Yes.
But this is not about a community, Madhav. This is about radicalized people who have a criminal tendency mentored by certain people to create chaos in this country. This is about not a community. We do not blame any community for this. We blame those radical
Tom
elements.
Vadakkan, when you say that, Tom Vadakkan, when you say that, I think you should put a mirror to yourself. Because by that logic, the first organization that should be banned is the RSS.
That, well, it doesn't
because the lynchings that happens,
One second.
the atrocities that your organization commits.
One second. There's an equivalence being drawn here between PFI and RSS. We have seen this during the Karnataka election. You know, I'm going to come to that point, but let Tom Vadakkan respond to you because he's saying there is a political reasoning behind what you're saying in opposing the ban. Tom Vadakkan, finish your point.
My point is very clear. This is
Sir,
basically appeasement because they need the support. They believe that the community is supporting them. But the reality is the community is not supporting them.
Okay.
This community is part of the civil society.
So, Kevin Mathews, can you explain one thing? Let's leave the ban aside for just a minute. Can you explain why mainstream political parties like the Congress party speak about taking support from the SDPI, which the Kerala High Court has called an extremist organization?
Sir, political affiliations come and go, and there's a certain fringe elements. So you cannot judge an organization to behave the same way. And when the government decreed, when you saw acts of terror coming from them, both the parties were on the front line to dismiss that. So, but before that, you cannot know about a crime before it happening. So, yeah, when things were okay, so SDPI came in as a good organization. Even RSS came the same way. RSS was supposed to be for Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh to serve this country. And sir, what are they doing? Cow lynching.
Sir, again you are going into equivalence when I'm asking you a question of why SDPI support is being taken. Your cover is that RSS is the same as SDPI. Let me just read out what the Kerala High Court has said. This is what Kerala High Court has specifically said on May 2022. He has said that no doubt SDPI and PFI extremist organizations indulging in serious acts of violence. And let me also inform you, Mr. Kevin Mathews, that 2010 is when the first attack, major attack on Professor Joseph happens. Since then, there have been over a dozen incidents. In fact, we probably lost count. The NIA order, in fact, the ban, in fact, has specifically mentioned many incidents. And let me bring in Mithun V Kumar to refresh your memory, because you say, Mithun V Kumar, a very interesting comment being made here.
No,
okay, by Kevin Mathews. One second, Kevin, you made a lot of points, so let others also respond to you. An important point being made by Kevin Mathews is how could the government predict what actions will be taken? Have there not been enough actions or incidents perpetrated by PFI, including an act on CPM itself, on CPM's SFI, student wing itself in Maharaja's College, Kochi? Is that not enough for action to be taken? Mithun V Kumar.
Madhav, the thing with people like Kevin Mathews is that when they are given a chance to speak, they will not say anything. But when others are speaking, they will interrupt continuously. So I believe that's a pattern he has been following from a very long time. But in this particular discussion, Madhav, I actually agree with your point. You can't ban an organization. You can't just ban an ideology by banning an organization. See, SIMI was banned. NDA was banned. But the ideology continued to survive with PFI till it was banned. And I'm sure it will re-emerge as another organization very soon. And their political arm, STPI, is very much active. and they are making unholy alliances with all the major parties in the country, including CPIM, and we have many instances during the elections that we can quote. And let me ask you, Madhav, who compared Madani with Mahatma Gandhi? It was CPIM. It was the CPIM, and it was a prominent leader of the CPIM. I don't want to take his name here. So the ideology this is an ideology which you can never ban, because its existence is very much essential for the survival of many of the opposition parties today, be it Congress, CPIM, or any other opposition party. You see, SDPI had made a clear statement that in 2018 they had withdrawn their candidates from around 25 to 28 constituencies to support Congress in Karnataka elections. So that's the political scenario in this country, and I fully agree with what Mr. Sebastian Paul and Kevin are saying. So you can't just ban this idea. You can't just ban an organization and ban their ideology, because that ideology is very much needed for the opposition party to survive. And in this particular case of Professor Joseph, you see, he's a real victim of minority appeasement in Kerala, because soon after his question paper became a controversy, student groups associated with Congress and Rahul Gandhi's Muslim League, secular Muslim League in particular, arranged protests and held him responsible for blasphemy. And what the CPIM do on the other hand? Their police, the communist government, issued a lookout notice for him. So it was a competition between the ruling left and Congress, which the jihadis took advantage of to incite terror. And even today, the political scenario of Kerala has not changed much, Madhav. You see, hundreds of people are recruited to ISIS, and this is as per the state government's records. Okay, I'm not quoting any movie or anything. Right. And the problems of radical Islam still continue in Kerala. Okay. So what explanation do these people have for that?
Right. Let me bring in Professor Atiq Ur Rehman on that point, because Professor Atiq Ur Rehman, what is being stated by both Tom Vadakkan and Mithun V Kumar is that this is the convenience of politics, the requirement of politics, that appeasement has in fact reared its ugly head when it comes to the PFI. And we're saying that, we've seen that in the recent Karnataka Assembly election as well, where SDPI is being wooed by various political parties. We've seen it in Kerala, we've seen it in different states across the country, and that's what's the reality of why such violent organizations, extremist organizations, continue to be wooed by different political parties.
Madhav, first of all, let me salute Professor T.J. Joseph, whose words are very statesmanly in this matter. He is calling the attackers of his as victims. Now the question asked on this particular panel is that the black sheep in any organization, that organization needs to be banned. So if you are banning the black sheep's organization of the PFI, then are there no black sheep in the RSS? I am not just for the argument's sake claiming RSS. The political wing of the Congress, if it can be SDPI or the PFI, giving succor to these political parties, is the RSS not giving succor to the ruling BJP? Their members are in the RSS. They have the cabinet ministers related to the RSS.
Professor Atiq Ur Rehman, let me just interrupt you. One factual point. One factual point. Tom Vadakkan can come in on this. Let me just ask you one factual point. Today, PFI members have been convicted. Okay? Which are the cases in which RSS members have been convicted? Please tell us the facts.
Very good question. Very good question. Madhav, the arrest of the RSS, radicalized elements can happen only when the BJP is out of power.
So there was a 10-year Congress government, sir.
The ruling, the cabinet ministers inducting the RSS members.
Sir, 10 years is a long time. I think that is enough for any case to reach its logical conclusion. Do you not think?
Arresting. So, Madhav, the moot point over here is that are we really arresting radicalization in any organization?
So these are rhetorical arguments. I am talking facts. If you are comparing apples, compare them to apples. If there are people who have been convicted today from a certain organization and you are comparing it to another organization, have they been convicted? It's a simple question. Let Tom Vadakkan come in now. Tom Vadakkan, your response to Professor Atiq Ur Rehman, who is repeatedly making the same comparison that Kevin Mathews is doing, comparing the PFI to RSS.
Well, the reality is, the RSS is a social organization. And there is this campaign that is running that the RSS is responsible for radicalization and what have you. Now, the fact of the matter is, as you asked, please place on record any charge sheet or any case filed against an RSS during the Congress regime. Forget the BJP period. Please bring it on record. If there is any cruelty, any action, any crime committed, it's an open challenge. If you have it, put it on record. Instead of running a diatribe against the RSS without having any established facts in front of you. Please do bring these facts.
Yes.
And remember, when in Kerala, when you had the tsunami, it was the RSS men who reached out there before any party person could go there. Why? I was there. I was an eyewitness to it. When the Congress team reached there, the RSS workers were already there. Whether it was any other incident, you had this team doing seva.
Okay, Professor Rehman, quick response. Professor Rehman, quick response on that.
Yes.
Madhav, let me read out the names
Sir,
for
Mr. Tom, Tara Singh was the RSS.
One at a time, gentlemen. We can't have two people shouting at the same time. Professor Rehman responds. Kevin Mathews has spoken. No, let others also speak a little bit. We'll come back to you.
Naresh Kumar.
I will come back to you, sir. Please, 1 minute. Professor Atiq Ur Rehman.
Sir. Graham Steens was burnt alive along with his two sons by Dara Singh, who was a member of the RSS, just for a false charge that he is converting people over there, which was not established by the commission setup, and that was under the Congress regime.
Okay.
Do you remember that, sir? Even how can we forget?
Madhav, his audio is not very clear. Can you repeat what he's asking?
He is asking you a question regarding Graham Steen's attack and his family members being killed by Dara Singh. Please respond to him.
Dara Singh.
Well, where is the case against the RSS in this? It was the Congress regime. They could have taken action. And if there was evidence, if there was smoking gun evidence, as you claim, what action was taken? I ask you. I'm asking you, what was the issue when the Congress didn't take action? It was that period. And Congress didn't take action. If there is smoking gun evidence against any ideology, go and act. But then don't spread these rumors. This is your thoughts. And this is hearsay.
You know, I just want to bring the debate back to the PFI and the SDPI. You know, I'm just going to read out a sentence. And Kevin Mathews, this is what the sentence, this is what was written as far as the charge sheet that was filed in the Rudresh murder case is concerned. And listen carefully. This is a third paragraph where they say A1, A2, A3, A4 were arrested on 27/10/2016. A5 was arrested on 22/11/2016 at Bengaluru by Karnataka State Police. Investigation has established that all the 5 arrested accused persons are members of PFI and its affiliated political organization, the SDPI. None of them had personal enmity with the deceased Rudresh. He was killed solely because of his leadership, membership to a political or a particular organization. So this is a clear act of terror, is what the NIA has said. And it's such an organization, the SDPI, that repeatedly political parties want to associate with, Kevin.
I agree. Madhav, I agree. This was a political act of terror. But even by the same logic, yes, these people were members of PFI. These people were members of SDPI. But on that note, you can see Tom Vadakkan wanted the names of people convicted from RSS. I am reading it out for you. This is one case. This just a simple Google search gave me. Dharmendra Yadav, Paramjit Sardar, Vijay Kumar and Naresh Kumar. Members of the RSS, members of the VSP, convicted in the Ragbar murder case for 7 years. Now, why is Tom Vadakkan associated with them then? By the very same logic. So, nobody is holier than thou. What PFI, the people did,
if a crime has been committed, they have to be punished.
Absolutely unfortunate.
This is the kind of position the CPM takes. Every time there's a crime by a member of the PFI or SDPI, it's okay.
Okay. Mithun Vijay Kumar also wants to comment on this. Mithun Vijay Kumar.
RSS.
Or the RSS.
Okay. Mithun Vijay Kumar. Mithun Vijay Kumar.
If the panelist wants to read out cases, let me ask him, who's the prime accused in the first political murder in Kerala? Does he know the answer? Today, he's the CM of Kerala. Do you know that? And should I read out the cases of CPIM workers in Kerala who have killed many of the RSS or the BJP workers? And if you want to know the list of people killed by PFI, let me tell you, there are CPIM, workers as well. Murder of CPIM worker Naroth Diliban, murder of Muslim League worker Nasruddin in Kozhikode, murder of Congress leader P. Naushad. Then the Narath arms training case, weapons were seized from PFI and SDPA offices. Attack on CPIM workers in Mangalam, Tirur. Murder of RSS leader Nandu. Murder of BJP OBC leader Ranjit Srinivasan. Murder of RSS leader Srinivasan. Bengaluru riots. Stopping of Independence Day program for singing Vande Mataram. Raising Pakistan Zindabad slogans in Karnataka. Plotting to kill MP, MP Tejasvi Surya as well. Links with various terrorist organizations, and their money trail was established a long time ago. I would say that PFI ban was much delayed actually, because there were plenty of reports against them.
And if you want to read out, comment on this, Sebastian Paul, very serious charges against the CPM and its own track record when it comes to acts of violence that have been just rattled off by Mithun V Kumar.
Give me 1 minute.
I want Sebastian Paul to respond.
Tell me, speak about the first political murder in Kerala.
Let him respond, please.
Good number of instances of political murders.
I will respond with
not only in Kerala, but elsewhere.
Kevin,
also.
please let others also participate. This is a panel discussion. You can't give every response yourself. Let Mr. Sebastian Paul speak, please. He's much more senior to you also. Mr. Sebastian Paul.
So it is very unfair on the part of the panelist to accuse our chief minister of a murderer or serial killer. So many cases are there. I also admit the CPM workers were killed, the Congress workers were killed, the other workers not in the other party. It is happening in our country, unfortunate thing. What we are hearing from West Bengal now, so all those things are there. But terrorism and an ordinary murder, political murder, or murder with political color.
Sir, you speak about the Vadakkan Ramakrishnan case in which Pinarayi Vijayan is one of the accused.
It is very different. So we are talking about terrorism and extremism.
Yes, and of course the appeasement angle is also there, which is why this becomes very important. And I'd love to leave it there for the moment, because I think we've had a debate around this. The conviction has been seen at the moment. All eyes are on the quantum of sentencing that is to take place tomorrow. Will there be justice for Professor Joseph, who has, in fact, as one of our panelists said, taken a very statesman-like position, saying it's not justice for me. My life has been ruined. But it should be there that a nation state should take action against those who have vowed to attack the nation, who are committing acts of terror. And that's where this becomes a case where all Indians must pay very close attention. It's not just about justice for Professor T.J. Joseph, it's also about justice for all the victims of terror of the PFI, which is now a banned organization. I'd like to thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on debate number 1. Tom Vadakkan, Mithun V Kumar, Sebastian Paul, Kevin Mathews, and Professor Atiq Ur Rehman.